All right, Blake, how are you doing?
Good, how are you?
I'm really good. So I want to ask, first of all, where are you from?
I grew up in Monterey, California, Central Coast, beautiful area, Carmel Valley area of that county. It's very, very nice.
Awesome. What made you, do you live in Los Angeles right now?
I do. I've lived in Los Angeles since '97, despite a few vacations that lasted a year or two at a time.
Yeah. What kind of vacations?
Well, I moved to New York City for 4.5 years. I moved to San Francisco for a year.
How was moving back, like, you know, to New York City and San
It was
Francisco?
amazing. It was a beautiful city. It was a beautiful place to be for 4.5 years, and I just ended up missing Los Angeles, and it was home for me. So I came back, but I enjoyed all 4.5 years that I spent in the city.
Nice. Well, we're happy to help you back. So how long have you been a musician? How long have you been singing?
Well, I liked singing as a kid, just, in the living room for my family, but I started singing probably when I was a sophomore in high school. We started taking beginning guitar. I'd always written poetry, and the two kind of came together around that time for me and led to songwriting and very good at singing. So I've been doing it for a little while now.
What you said, so you do poetry and you kind of tied it in together. What type of poetry? What inspires you?
Anything. Wow. Really. Prose, poetry, fiction, great writing in general I like a lot. I was a big fan of Charles Bukowski, E.E. Cummings, Kipling, William Blake, stuff like that. And then, a lot of just sort of street art and poetry and stuff.
Do you sometimes kind of have do your own poetry itself without the music? Have maybe there's some open mics that you just want to just read, just kind of your stuff?
I've never done that, and I think probably that itch is scratched and satisfied by my music. So that's not a world that I've stepped into. Opportunity to write, or I ended up someplace, and it seemed like the time to do it that I would. Right now, I kind of afford myself the ability to do my poetry through music, so it seems like a fairly satisfied area.
Right on. Okay, I want to ask you, how long does it take you to actually create a song with your poetry? How long does it take you, when something pops in your head, do you just literally just write it down immediately, or is it kind of
for me, I don't, it's so rare that I write anything down, which is a double-edged sword, but writing for me is one of those things, I'm still working on a song that I probably started 15 years ago, and then, I wrote 2 the other night, so it just kind of depends how it goes, but for me, it generally starts with the desire to talk about something, or a phrase, or something creative, and then I pick up the guitar and look for the sounds and chords and everything that sort of emulate the mood of what it is that I'm talking about or trying to say, and then I piece things together. So sometimes they come quick, and sometimes they never get finished, but generally in between I have stuff to play. Keep me busy.
Keep you busy. I hear that. How did your family react when, I'm guessing, you said you've been playing music, but how did your family react when you wanted to pursue music?
Well, I was fortunate. I had a great family. I was great people, creative minds and all that. My mom's a great artist, a great creative person. I also, was raised in an atmosphere where if you grew up and said, well, I want to be a poet when you're in 5th grade, which I did, your fathers, and they had kind of say, well, that might not be very realistic, which is what my father did, although he was probably one of the biggest supporters and fans of my poetry and writing. So they were supportive, but I immediately, once I started doing it, it was all I wanted to do. And, so, you know, I think there's some caution for them just as far as this realistic, you know. Our kid says he wants to go to the moon, or says he wants to be a musician or a poet. You know, it's a lot. People do go to the moon, so you can't tell everyone you're crazy, but you know, they were cautious but supportive, and have always been supportive and still are, and always remain cautious, just because you know, we live in a society in a time where it's scary to people to say I'm an artist, or I want to be an artist, or this is all I want to do. And so many of us work other jobs so that we can attend to our passion and our purpose. And so the more someone focuses on saying, well, my passion and my purpose is going to be my job, and that's all that I care about, and that's all I'm working on making happen, you know, it's anyone who loves you or cares about you knows you're kind of standing out on the end of a plank and hoping for a good landing. So it is what it is, but everyone's been really cool and supportive.
That's really cool. That's really, like, has there been any like struggles or like obstacles, like moving from New York then to San Francisco and then back to Los Angeles, and then also like any obstacles or struggles as being a musician and just being heard?
Of course, I mean, there's a struggle in anything. I mean, anytime you move across the country or something like that, it's a struggle. And it's always a struggle to get heard, particularly these days. There's the beauty of the internet and the digital age that we're in, where things are so accessible. So it's much easier to be heard, but because it's easier to be heard and things are more accessible, there's so much more for you to compete with, to catch people's attention, or to separate yourself from all the different links of things that are going around. I mean, I have to try to follow music now, Facebook, and all these different things. It's like, you know, it's this kind of colloquium of people that, you know, can advertise their art and music, and so there's so many there because it's available and it's free, and that's a beautiful thing. So there's just more people trying to be noticed or heard or seen, have their ideas shared. That's good, and I think you got to separate yourself and, you know, do your own thing and just keep putting it out there and hope for the best. You know, and as far as struggles go, I mean, whether you're, you know, a plumber or a waiter or you know, an UPS store, we all strive to survive and be ourselves. So as an artist, you know, it's hard, but you can't complain any more than anybody else, because we're all sort of trying to stay fed.
In this together, pretty much.
Roofs over our head.
Yeah.
And I know what it's like to struggle in that. You know, I've been broke to try to do this. I've lived in a car to try to do this. So it is what it is. You just gotta do what you do and get through it. But struggle is struggle. We all struggle every day. So, my plight is greater than anyone else's.
Yeah. It's pretty.
Bob Marley said every man's burden is the heaviest.
Good job. Nice. Throwing the Bob Marley in there.
Yeah, I like smart people.
I appreciate that you like smart people, because I do as well. With your music, like, is there a message that you want to send out there to those that really enjoy your music, or just in general?
Well, you know, as an artist, I've evolved, and you know, it's like growing up, I wrote a lot of sort of rock and roll love songs, and, you know, the cute girl at the bar that I fell in love with, that, you know, just hanging out with guys that had more going on or whatever it is, you know, the Woe Is Me love songs that make good country rock and roll and all that. It's a beautiful part of music. But I think for me, you know, I've also tried to get very sort of spiritual. And I had a phase of that, and where it's kind of that was the primary focus, and that was cool and very heartfelt. And at the same time, you know, as an artist and a writer, I started to remind myself of why I got into it when I was young and wanting to be a poet and an artist, because you kind of have to make it fun. And so for me, you know, I'm a huge fan of John Lennon, and I read a wonderful book about him.
What was it called? I think I've read it too.
The Life of John Lennon. It's like 800 pages. And it's really good and it's very detailed, but there's a great peek into, you know, him and Paul McCartney's songwriting, and that book inspired me into kind of a new perspective of writing for myself, because they would use, you know, catchphrases or little things that were, you know, in pop culture at the time and twist a whole different message around it. So it makes it fun, it makes it inspiring, and so now I write songs that are very heartfelt, and you know, my message underlying it, even if I'm not directly talking about it and everything, is like, you know, let's be a creative society on Earth. Let's be nice, let's be kind, let's be cool. You know, no one needs to walk with their head down. And you know, let's take care of the planet. Let's try to be as cool as we can. And so that's the underlying message, but at the same time, it's like, you know, I sing about love and longing and heartbreak, and I sing about being alive, and so, you know, all within those parameters, it's good stuff.
Right on.
I don't even know if I answered the question.
You did answer the question. You did.
It's the light, man.
I'm sorry, blinded by the light.
Very bright.
I told you. You're just gonna have like this, you know, white spot in the middle of it. I've been there before. Would you say, like, what so far as of right now in your life, what would you say your accomplishments have been so far? It can be small, it can be big.
Accomplishments. I guess, yeah. I've made earmark accomplishments. I've had a record deal, I've had a publishing deal. I've had certain measurements of success, I guess. I think me as a person or in life, my greatest accomplishments are, you know, the times that I listened to someone or anyone. Because sometimes that's hard to do. So sometimes when you're just there and someone needs to be heard, and you just let them be heard, and that's that. So I don't know, maybe that's my greatest accomplishment. Times in my life where I just needed to be heard.
Right on.
Something that you always have to remind yourself.
I agree. Now, do you